सो गुड मॉर्निंग वेस्टिजियंस। मेरा नाम है डाइटिशियन रिजुता देव, हेल्थ एंड न्यूट्रिशन स्पेशलिस्ट वेस्टीज। आज हम सबके लिए एक बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट दिन है। अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही हमने एक बहुत ही शानदार एक नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया है जिसका नाम है वेस्टीज यू कंट्रोल। वेस्टीज यू कंट्रोल, जैसा कि आप सब जानते हैं, कि बहुत ही बड़ी समस्या को मैनेज करने में मदद करता है, जो है यूरिनरी इनकंटिनेंस की प्रॉब्लम, जिसमें फ्रीक्वेंट यूरिनेशन, यूरिन लीकेज और नाइट टाइम यूरिनेशन जैसा प्रॉब्लम आता है। आज वेस्टीज यू कंट्रोल को और डिटेल में डिस्कस करने के लिए हमारे साथ हैं डॉक्टर मोरान वर्नर। डॉक्टर मोरान, welcome to the session. Today, thousands of people can watch you live. Dr. Moran, IFF Health के लिए ग्लोबल प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर के तौर पर काम करती हैं और वो इंटरनेशनल प्रोडक्ट एक्सपर्ट भी हैं. She is based at Israel and she has rich 15 years of experience. Soya, isoflavones and pumpkin seed extracts पर आज डॉक्टर मोरन इन डेप्थ बात करेंगी. हमें बताएंगी कि कैसे ये हमारी क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ को इम्प्रूव करने में मदद कर सकता है. ओवर टू यू मैम.
Hello, thank you so much. So, hello everyone. It is a pleasure for me to be here today and present to you IFF product. My name is Moran Werner. I am the product specialist of the pumpkin and soy isoflavones complex and part of IFF for the last 5 years. Today we will talk about the pumpkin soy isoflavone complex, which is a research complex to support urinary health conditions. So let's start and dive into the details. But just before we will talk about the complex itself, I would like to make a short overview of the concept that we are talking today about with this complex, which is LUTS. LUTS is a shortening of lower urinary tract symptoms. This is a range of symptoms that related to problems of the lower urinary tract, and it can be includes the bladder, the prostate, and the urethra. So LUTS are a common complaint in adult men, but also women, with a major impact on quality of life due to interface with daily living and are associated with a substantial physiological and economic burden. So LUTS can be divided into storage and voiding symptoms and are strongly associated with aging and also with a number of modifiable risk factors that suggesting potential target for prevention. So LUTS become more common in men and women as they get old. And according to the literature, about 1 in 5 adults reports moderate to severe LUTS. And as I mentioned before, LUTS have been linked with a marked deterioration of quality of life and self-confidence, and can influence on health conditions such as depression and many other conditions that we can find during the age of the people. So if we will focus on urinary incontinence, we will find that this is one of the most common disorders reported in both women and men when we are talking about LUTS. And overall urinary incontinence affects up to 50% of older adults, which is about 500 million people around the world. And overactive bladder and urinary incontinence occur about twice as frequently in women as in men and become more prevalent with age. So 1 in 5 adults over 40 are affected by overactive bladder or symptoms of urgency and frequency. And about 35% of women between the age of 45 suffer from overactive bladder. And if we will take a look of the market, we can see that the global urinary incontinence market is estimated at $2.34 billion in 2019. So if urinary incontinence was a country, it would be one of the largest countries in the world. So despite its high prevalence, as said before, up to 50% of cases may not be reported at all. And if we will analyze the reasons, we can find that individuals with urinary incontinence may not seek medical intervention since they think that this is the only way to treat this condition, if any. And also embarrassment and the perception that urinary incontinence is an accepted consequence of aging, people will not ask for support this condition. So in general, we have to remember that incontinence does not cause any health problem. However, it affects the quality of life of million people. And quality of life is a thing that we need to cultivate. So urinary incontinence is categorized according to pathophysiological and clinical presentation. The four main categories are stress incontinence, urinary incontinence, urge urinary incontinence, overflow urinary incontinence, and functional urinary incontinence. These are these are four different categories with differences between all kind of symptoms and causes. So these people can suffer from different categories or all of them. So according to a consumer survey done by one of the biggest brands of supplement in the world, it was found that consumers are willing to have solutions that can serve them in the elder ages to improve their quality of life. They understand that their quality of life will be influenced by chronic disease, which are common in these ages. And actually, they're really right about this. And if we'll link incontinence condition to this survey, we could understand that people don't want to experience aging in a way that will affect their quality of life. And they already start to look for some solutions before it will be too late. And then they will need to use medicines. So today there are several options to support incontinence that can be found in the market. There are the non-oral option and the oral option. Okay, so if I will take a look of the non-oral category, we could find that surgery is probably the most popular solution in this category, and is as an option to support. However, it includes risk and intervention. We can see that insert and urinary pads are very popular option, however, are uncomfortable solution in two terms, both physically and psychologically, and are not supporting or treating or preventing this condition. Bladder control devices are also an option, but that can be very expensive. And the last option in this category is exercise and muscle training. However, these might be difficult for some of the ages. In the second side, the oral option can be divided into two categories, the pharmacological and the dietary supplement. So for the pharmacological, this is costly, inconvenient, and with potential side effects. And the dietary supplement that are usually plant-based. So by now, we talked about the incontinence condition and market and the treatment options in the market. And now we will talk about IFF's pumpkin soy isoflavone complex, which is actually contained in the U-Control capsules. So let's start. Pumpkin soy isoflavones complex is a highly researched solution for bladder wellness and has 4 clinical studies. It targets a growing problem, which is the urinary incontinence and overactive bladder. It has positive effect demonstrated in both men and women on physical and psychological relief. This is a proprietary blend of plant extracts. The production process includes using a technology, the hyperpure, for supporting removal of fat to eliminate the harmful degenerative and oxidative actions. And actually, I have based its formula in the traditional use of the seeds of the pumpkin, which have been used for centuries as a natural remedy for urination problems. And the formula also based on in vivo and in vitro studies done, which demonstrated that it affects the relaxation of urinary muscles at the stage of a full bladder. So the pumpkin soy isoflavone complex produced under EFLA hyperpure technology, as said before. And this technology supports by removal of the fat to eliminate the harmful degenerative and oxidative actions. And it also removes of toxic heavy metals and farm chemicals. This is a purifying and cleaning process. The extraction of ingredients is done using a higher water affinity for a high absorption rate. And these proprietors increase the safety and stability of the product for the long run. So a little bit about pumpkin seeds history. This is very important to explain that pumpkin seeds have been used in the traditional medicine of North and Central America for the treatment to facilitate the passage of urine. Since 1539, pumpkin seeds become an integral part of the European herbal medicine for use as medical treatment of lower urinary tract symptoms, of course, due to BPH. So let me link you to our clinical studies and give you some points to think about how this product can be used and how to create added value for consumers. So the pumpkin and soy isoflavones complex is an old and well-known complex for IFF. It is based on 4 clinical studies in both women and men. Also studies analyzed to improvement of the frequency of duration of urination during the day and also during the night. Also the quality of life parameters were checked during the studies and satisfaction level of using this product. In addition to the clinical studies, IFF analyzed this complex by in vivo studies and in animal model to make sure this product is safe. So let's zoom in to one of our main studies, which was a placebo-controlled randomized clinical trial with 120 participants that were suffered from overactive bladder related to voiding dysfunction. The aim of this study was to evaluate the symptoms improvement and the satisfaction level of these participants when they used this complex. In the results, we found that the frequency of urination decreased in 27%. And also found that the frequency of urgency decreased in 31%. And the frequency of nocturia, which is during the night, decreased in 31% as well. So we found the improvement in the symptoms, and in addition, wanted to analyze the satisfaction level by using the complex. In each of the clinical studies, we evaluated this. So the evaluation of the satisfaction level done by a questionnaire that included 2 questions about satisfaction level and quality of life. In this clinical study, it has been found that most participants mentioned that they want to keep taking the complex. And when the participants were asked about satisfaction level, the results have been shown that in total, 90% of the participants in the pumpkin and soy isoflavone complex group say that the product is helpful and very helpful. So we can say that by using the pumpkin and soy isoflavones complex, not only the symptoms of overactive bladder syndrome were improved, but also the quality of life and satisfaction level were positively assessed by the participants. Okay, so another point for thought for the future that can be talked about in the combination of this product and various indications is about urinary tract infection. This condition, for example, can temporarily cause or aggravate urinary incontinence. Irritation in the bladder from infection can result in an intense need to urinate or incontinence. And also opposite, urinary incontinence may affect the cause of urinary tract infection by incomplete emptying of the bladder. So we know, as we know, women are at greater risk of developing a UTI than our men. It's about 250 million people develop a urinary tract infection each year, and up to 10% of women have a urinary tract infection each year. And 50% of women have at least one infection at some point in their lifetime. So this is a thing that I think very important for you to think about when you use U-Control. Think about other indication as an option to combine with. So let's summarize. The pumpkin and soy isoflavones complex was found to support frequency of urination during the day and night, and also frequency of urgency. Consumers are really satisfied with this product. They want to keep using it time after time. We receive many feedback from consumers that use this for years. It has safety and efficacy studies. The pumpkin and soy isoflavones complex is a natural solution to support urinary incontinence. And it is produced with a unique technology which keeps it free of fat, which keep it stable for a long time, and also make it convenient for use in a wide range of product applications. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Wow, that was really, really wonderful. And thank you so much, the wonderful insight which you just shared with us, Dr. Moran. I'm sure all our viewers have gained so much today from this session. Thank you so much once again. Thank you.